Hello guys, and welcome to the special of Halloween. Ha 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 ha. Today it is Halloween, and that's why I'm gonna tell you 4 creepypastas. Each one of them is scary every time. So to watch this video, I'll give you some time to run for the popcorns, turn off the lights, and watch it with headphones. If you make this, you will have a better experience watching the creepypastas and they will be even scarier. So, as I said before, go for the popcorns, turn off the lights, and go for the soda or the beer if you drink, and use your headphones. Ha ha ha, this is gonna get really scary.
Hi, I'm a girl who liked playing video games. My favorite video game was Minecraft. I really loved this game because I developed my creativity there and everyone else played it. What I most liked of Minecraft was playing on servers like Hive minigames with people, but what I wanted to play was to play on a realm because I admired the Realms SMP series of Rage Elixir. I wanted to have my own realm, but it cost $7 per month. My parents' economic situation wasn't so good and they could barely pay for rent, groceries, and services, and I had already used the free trial. In my middle school there were some kids with their realms, but Noon wanted to invite me because I was just the shy girl of the class. Noon never talked to me, as I didn't have school friends and I was a single daughter. I tried searching people who had a server realm on Discord to play, but Noon wanted to invite me there either. As I couldn't play on any server I felt sad, but I found in YouTube a video about creating free servers on Eternos. I liked the idea and made my own Eterno server. After creating my Eterno server I was so excited I could finally play with anyone. But as I had said before, I didn't have any friends and none would ever join my server. So as I wanted people to join my server, one day in school I told some of my classmates to join my server. They said they were gonna join to see. I played with them and when they joined they said my server was trash and I was a cringy girl and that's why. Noon wanted to play with me because I had a small house built in the forest and I liked building weird things in the forests. All of that made me feel sad. Several months later I decided to invite my classmates to my home to play Minecraft because my parents were not gonna be at home. That was when I did the worst mistake of my life. After I invited them they came to my home and played Minecraft with me in my Eterno server. Everything was doing well until the psychopath guy and his girlfriend decided to burn my house in the server. Then everyone else decided to do the same and destroy everything I had in the server. That psycho kid told everyone he popped paying them for bullying. I desperately cried and screamed after they were bullying me in the server. Then they came to my room laughing at me, making fun of me. That's when they started hitting me hard in real life as hell, getting me bled out and torturing me in my room. I tried defending myself, but I couldn't. Then they with an electric cable of my computer and a hammer hit me as hard as they could, causing me a several electric discharge and internal bleedings inside my body, leading me to death. I remember there was blood everywhere around me and the pain was so big. They even broke me the legs and arms and I couldn't stand up from the floor. At that moment my Eterno server was still on and my Minecraft skin was standing in the forest. After that torture from my classmates happened I died, but I'm still alive in Minecraft. I go from server to server crying, asking for help because I want revenge from those idiots who killed me. I won't rest in peace until I find them and kill them worse than they killed me and I see them dying of horrible ways.
Hi, my name is Tom Brown. I'm a guy who has always loved Minecraft, but now I'm so scared of that game and I don't love it as much as I used to. The reason of why that happens is because a couple of months ago I was so excited the 1.17 had officially been released. When I saw that I quickly went to update in a cracking Chinese app for my computer where I used to crack every single new Minecraft version, but this time in the app I couldn't see the new 1.17 version there. At first I thought they were gonna put it there in a few days, but the time went by and the app had officially been banned in USA because of piracy. When I saw that happen, I felt sad because I wasn't gonna be able to play the 1.17 with my friends. So I tried searching for tutorials on YouTube. None of them was working for my computer. I spent hours trying to do what the tutorial said, but nothing worked. Until I finally found an Indian tutorial. I really liked those because they were good. The guy in that Indian tutorial looked nice and his tutorial was so different from the other ones. I saw he had the same PC as me and the same system. So I tried doing that tutorial and could install the 1.17 version on my PC for free. I felt so excited I could install that. Then an alert appeared in there and said, "Are you sure you want to install this program? This program can bring bad consequences to you, so think wisely about doing this action. If you don't, you are putting so much risk to your life." When I saw that, I was a bit confused, but I didn't care at all and just accepted. When I entered the game, it was in Spanish. That looked weird because I had my computer in English and the site where I had installed it was Indian. But I never cared about that. I just went for the translator and changed the language to English. I also saw my account was signed out, so I just clicked in sign in and I started playing in a new world. I spawned near a mountain biome where I started moving. I went to chop some wood and craft tools to go mining. I went to the mountains to get a little coal and some stone and I found some goats. I was so excited I had finally found goats, so I decided to live in that mountain biome and build my house and goats farm there. Then I started crafting some buckets to get milk from them and trying to get their horns. The days went by in the world and everything looked normal until I saw I had lost some of my goats. I decided to breed them and get more to recover them and I continued doing my activities. When the night came, I slept and I saw in the morning I had many less goats. I was feeling like something was wrong because they couldn't have spawned from nowhere. So I started making more sure they couldn't escape and I put more fences up so they couldn't jump. Then I went to bed again and when I woke up I saw 50% of my goats were gone. I started investigating why, so I decided to stay up. It looked like nothing was happening and I saw I was getting bored of watching them, so I went to craft at my house some diamond tools. I came back to them and I saw one goat dying. I started thinking they were killing each other because they attacked themselves sometimes. So I decided to get more wheat to breed them when they died and I went back to bed. When I woke up, I saw a written sign in the Spanish saying, "Your goats taste good." I was confused of who could have written that. If my world was in single player and I had been there online all the time. So I decided taking care of my home and looking everywhere, but I saw nothing. Then that night I decided to sleep again. When I started sleeping, I heard some goats screaming really loud. I immediately woke up from bed and for my surprise, I saw many goats dying at the same time. That's when I saw one weird mob running. I tried chasing it, but it went too fast and got into dark. I started getting more scared. I decided to put my armor on and get my sword. I stayed up all night and didn't see anything. So in the morning, I decided walking and I found another sign in Spanish that said, "Tus cabras tan deliciosas, pero esta noche vendrá a la casa de Peter Brown a comer unas cabras más deliciosas. Soy el chupacabras." When I saw that before translating, I saw it had the name of my grandpa. That's when I fastly went to Google for the translator and I saw it said, "Your goats are delicious, but this time I'll come to Peter Brown's house to eat some more delicious goats. I'm the chupacabra." I didn't understand what chupacabra meant, but when I searched it in Google, I saw the chupacabra was a Latin American urban legend that was about a monster who sucked goats. What I could deduce was that it was the goat sucker, and I also remembered my grandpa had some goats in his farm in real life, so I got even more scared. I decided to keep playing Minecraft to calm down my nerves, and then in the game I saw the chupacabra killing all of my goats in front of me. I hit it, but it killed me of one hit. When I respawned in a place full of bloody Minecraft goats. I was scared. I couldn't leave from there. Then the chupacabra was there again and killed me once again, this time crashing my game. When my game crashed, I suddenly got a notification from my dad saying the grandpa had been murdered with his goats. I couldn't believe it. My father said the police couldn't find who killed him and his murder was a mystery. I explained him about the chupacabra, but he didn't believe me. Then, after talking to my father by phone, I saw my computer said, "There, I warned you." Since then, I'm afraid of Minecraft, and that's why I don't want to play so much as before because of my grandfather's murder.
Hi, my name is Jonathan. I'm a guy who always liked playing any kind of video games, specifically popular video games. Everything started when I was playing Among Us, because it was really fun. But at the time I was seeing how the video game was dying and my friends had stopped playing it, so I started getting bored of that game. That's why I started looking for new games. I couldn't find any, so I decided to play Minecraft. After playing a lot of Minecraft, I got bored, and I had defeated the Ender Dragon again in a speedrun. And I was still waiting for a 1.17 version to get it released. And so, in one occasion, while I was on YouTube, I saw one of my favorite YouTubers playing Friday Night Funkin'. I saw it was becoming a new popular game, and I liked the music of that game, so I tried to search where I could play it. I started investigating where and then I could play it on Newgrounds website. I went there and I searched Friday Night Funkin'. When I started waiting for the new game to download, and then started playing it. I started with the tutorial and began with week 1. I was seeing the game wasn't that hard, so I started beating all the weeks, until I finally beat the week 7. When I beat it, I saw the credits and many mods of that game there, and that there were going to be future updates for the game. I was so excited seeing that, and that I beat the game in half an hour without failing. Then, as I already had accomplished the game in easy mode, I started to beat it in hard mode. I saw I was really good at the game, but I was getting bored of the same level after playing the game several times again. So I went to see what mods I could play and found some really good mods like Woody, Garcello, Tricky, and Sky mods. So I went to search where I could play the mods and saw the page of Game Banana. I accessed there, but my computer couldn't download any mod from there. So I started to search from other websites where I could install mods, until I found one named Friday Night Funkin' Mods 666. I didn't care about the name, so I just wanted to see if I could install the mods. And I couldn't install the mods I wanted. I started playing them in hard mode, but they're still easy to beat. I played the most popular mods done by the Friday Night Funkin' community, and I saw all of them they're easy for me to beat, even the hard ones. So I was getting bored of the same mods. So on the next day, on Friday the 13th, I started to look up harder mods until I found one named Full Friday Night Funkin' Game.exe. I just saw it had cool levels, so I blindly installed it with my Windows 10 computer. When I installed it, an alert said, "You're the chosen one. Do you accept installing this?" When I saw that, I was a bit confused. I still decided to install it. When I got the game, I saw the 40 future weeks. It even had the Hank week, the Cassette Girls week, and a Ritz week. I was so excited. I was playing the future updates. So that's when I went to YouTube to see if someone else had already played this, but no YouTuber had found this. So I had to record it. Maybe it could give me a few views in my YouTube channel. I played all the weeks until week 40. Then I saw after that week there another one named the final week. I clicked on it really excited, and I put the hard difficulty on. Then I saw a message appeared there. You have to beat this week without failing. If you fail, there will be bad consequences. Are you sure you want to play? I was still confused at that moment, but I still accepted like an all-ignorant person. When I saw the background of the level, I saw a girlfriend was about to get killed and boyfriend was all tired. Then, I saw an enemy of a giant bloody demon. Then he would start talking with voice and dialogues. His voice sounded really scary and frightening. I was getting really scared at the moment. He said, "You won't beat me, kid. This time, you will lose and there's nothing you can do to survive." At that moment, the music was getting darker and scarier. So I tried closing the game and resetting my computer, but nothing worked. I even tried disconnecting the internet and the electricity, but the game was still on. The demon said, "I warned you. You can't escape now. It's too late to go back. Now just beat me, and I'll let you free." Then all the dialogue passed, and the first song started. It was going too fast. I put too much effort in my fingers trying to beat it. I was seeing boyfriend getting more scared for every arrow I pressed. When the song finished, the demon just screamed and then said this song was easy. But don't you think you can beat the next one? I tried at any moment. I wanted to take a break, but the demon told me I need to play now or I was gonna die. And he set my IP to do it. So I had to continue to the next song. The song was harder and scary. Every time the demon sang, it was making me damage in health bar, and then some fire arrows caution signs appeared in my arrows that made the song harder. I was so tired at that moment, but I kept spamming the WASD to beat the second song. My heart was beating so fast, I had already won almost 1 point of getting blueballed. Then the demon said, "You're lucky, you had beat this song. But this time, this song will be easy, and there won't be any luck to save you." I was about to collapse, but I had to continue to survive. Then the third song had like 50 arrows, and all the keys on my keyboards are different arrows to press. At that moment, I was so desperate that the worst thing that was how my health bar was decreasing every second. Then some fire arrows and some caution signs appeared there, and all the disturbing images of black and block signs started appearing during the song, and the arrows were moving, thing that made me dizzy and even more nauseous each time. I was hitting my keyboard like a crazy person, but as I did that, I clicked the fire arrow and I messed up. Then I saw boyfriend. Instead of being blue balled, he was red. He was bleeding from the testicles. And girlfriend was fully blood too, screaming. That was the moment when I felt a huge migraine, a strong hit in my balls, causing me a huge stomach ache, and I started to bleed from the nose, mouth, and the penis, like if I was menstruating like a girl. I was throwing up blood and other things I'd eaten before. My poop left from my ass like nothing, and I was peeing without control. All that because of the jump scare I had. I looked down on the floor and there was poop, blood, vomit, and pee everywhere. After that, I collapsed and woke up from the hospital. The doctor told my parents I had a huge panic attack, and there was a reason I collapsed that way. Then my parents, when I had seen my friend at Pokemon, but they didn't believe me. I was like crazy saying I saw a demon and other crazy stuff. I went too crazy in the hospital. I was traumatized at the way they took me to the physiology area. The psychologist tried to calm me down, but she couldn't. That's why they transferred me to the psychiatric hospital with a living suffering regretting having installed the Friday Funkin' mod in my computer. I'm always bleeding. I can't eat well by myself or go to the bathroom by myself. My scrotum and my head hurt, and I always see and hear that demon saying, "I warned you." I'm dying in a suffering. I want to die now. Now that I would commit suicide, but all the Catholics who commit suicide don't go to heaven, and I don't want to go to hell. I just want to be euthanized to end my suffering and rest my peace away from that demon. I'm probably going to be dead when you hear this, but don't accept all that comes to you or me end up like me. Goodbye now.
Hi, my name is Brian and right now I'm feeling depressed. Everything started a few weeks ago when I was in an online class with my classmates. I really hated high school because it was so boring and I wasn't a good student, but the only thing I liked from the high school were my friends I had there, especially for my friend Steve. He was the nerd kid of the school. What happened in that online class was that I was so boring and wanted to do something else. The hours went by until the class finished, but before it did the teacher told us that next Monday we were gonna start with exams. I really hated that news, but I still didn't care about that. Then a few moments after finishing the week classes, my friend asked me if I had already seen the Netflix series of the Squid Game. I told him I didn't know what was that, but then he told me that that series was becoming so popular. So I decided to go to YouTube, and just when I opened YouTube I saw some of my favorite YouTubers like DanTDM playing the Squid Game in Roblox and MrBeast playing Squid Game in Minecraft. When I saw all of those suggestions, I immediately searched for the Squid Game and I saw it was a new South Korean series. I watched the trailer and I saw it interesting. That's when I asked my mom if I could watch the series in her Netflix account, but she told me I had to study for my math and history exam. As I was an irresponsible kid, I decided not to study and asked my friend Steve the answers for the exams. He told me that that was not a problem at all as I was his friend. As it was Friday, I decided to make my weekend plan. I really liked playing Minecraft, so as the next day it was gonna be the Minecraft Live official, I decided I was first watching the live and then voting for the lame mob. After I voted in the Minecraft Live, I immediately went to use my mom's Netflix account in my computer and watched the full series of the Squid Game. After I watched it, I really liked the story and I rated it as good. Then on Sunday I decided to play Minecraft. I first played Minecraft with my girlfriend Sophia. I played in random servers with her and then she told me she had got to go. Later I was looking up in the store if I could buy any skin. Then I saw a cool one, but I just had 20 mine coins left and it cost 1,000 mine coins. When I saw that, I decided to search for my mom's credit card, but she had hidden it because I had already spent money of her card in Robux before. I was so disappointed at that moment and just spent the Sunday evening bored. The next day I connected to my online class, and as that day we were gonna have an exam, my friend passed me the answers and I passed the exam. Then in our break after the exam we made a video call and we were talking about what we did on the weekend. Then I told him all I had done that day, especially about the Squid Game series. Our whole conversation was focused about that and I told him what I liked the most from the series. Then he told me that we could play Squid Game in Minecraft. Then I asked him if we could play together and he told me yes, that on next weekend because he had to study for the English exam for next day and the other exams of the week. After our conversation I asked him if he could help me in the next exams and he told me that that was not a problem and I told him he was my best friend. Then our break finished and we had to spend the time on classes. After all that week of exams my friend passed me all the answers by Discord and I could pass. Then I told him that he was the best friend I could have ever had. Then he told me he really appreciated it and told me that he liked studying because his dream was to become a rich doctor and help people in need. Then I told him that he was a nice guy but that I was aimless. Then he told me it was alright, that I could change and it was never too late to change. Then after that small talk he told me we were playing next day on Saturday the Squid Game in Minecraft. I was so excited that Friday night, after a while I was looking up in the store still for that skin and I saw they increased it for 2,000 mine coins and that quit me a bit of my happiness. So I decided to spend time on Discord until I got a random message from a guy named MrBeast. It looked like the real MrBeast, and when I say it looked because that was a fake MrBeast and I say it looked real because in his connections he had the MrBeast official YouTube channel and official Twitter account. What that scammer asked me was that if I wanted to play the Squid Game in Minecraft. He told me that if I did he was gonna give me 456,000 mine coins. I accepted because I thought that was the real MrBeast. Then he sent me a code for the IP address of the server where we were gonna play and the code was 666-2034. I didn't care about the numbers of the code at all. I just knew 034 was of the Squid Game and 666 was a kind of joke to make it look scary. Then the Saturday came and I told my friend I found a Squid Game server in Minecraft. He told me to invite him and I gave him the code. Then my girlfriend and my friends Tom, Richard, Mary and John were online at that moment, so we decided to invite them to the game. Then they joined before I clicked on join and many people were joining at the same time. When I joined I saw there were 456 players and I was the player 456 for being the last one joining. In the game a Square Guardian told everyone in that server that we had to complete all of the 6 games from the Squid Game and we couldn't abandon the game or we died. We thought it was part of the game because that was part of the Squid Game series. Then the guard told everyone that the last player standing won 456,000 mine coins. Then my friends told me it was a scam, but I told them that the game was organized by Mr. Beast and sent them proof and they believed me. Then the guard said to let the games begin and he sent all the players to the game of green light, red light, and we had just 5 minutes to beat the game. We were so excited at that moment and I bet to my friends that I wasn't losing this one. Then the doll there started singing and we moved and stopped when it stopped singing. Then ahead we saw a guy who had a lag that was moving his player by itself and we saw his character died and he had been eliminated. Then we heard he was asking for help, but everyone laughed at him and called him loser. Then the doll sang again and we moved and stopped and other people moved after the doll finished singing. Then we heard they were shot and they were screaming for help. They were saying they were bleeding in real life and they needed an ambulance. Their screams were so annoying that some people tried quitting the game. But when they tried that, the guards told us that we had to play or we were gonna die in real life. None of my friends quit, so we were still alive. I told my friends to be careful and take their time, but we just had 2 minutes left to pass the game. So after a lot of hearing the doll singing and players dying, we beat the game in the last 20 seconds. Then the guards told us congratulations to the ones who did it on time and the ones who didn't make it were killed. At that moment everyone was confused as they had heard people screaming. Then the guards told us we needed to beat these games if we wanted to quit the game alive, but some refused and tried disconnecting, but we heard how they were screaming of death. Then the guards told us we had to play the next game and we just had 10 minutes to beat it. And the next game was the honeycomb game. The guards made us choose between the 4 figures of circle, triangle, star, and umbrella. Then they told us we had to break blocks from a big honeycomb square without breaking any wrong block. As my friend Steve was my smartest friend and he was a nerd, he told us to choose the triangle, but I had already chosen the umbrella. Then he gave us his mathematical and geometrical explanation of why the triangle and told us all the other figures were gonna be harder. As I had already chosen the umbrella, it was hard to build it. So I was afraid of messing it up. Then we heard some people were screaming because they had messed it up and the guards were seeing us and killing the ones who messed up. I was getting nervous, but I took some patience to make the umbrella. Then my friends told me they had already finished, but I was still there trying to make the umbrella. Then the time passed and I just had 30 seconds left. When others saw that, they messed it up because of the nerves and that caused the others more nerves. Then I just had to break the last blocks and I just had 10 seconds left to survive. I did it as fast as I could and luckily I could make the umbrella when there was just 1 second left and I passed. Then I saw others crying and I heard they had been killed in real life. After that my friends and me were so stressed out. Then the guards told us that for the next game we needed to make teams of 10. I made teams with my best friend Steve, my girlfriend Sophia and my friends Tom, Richard, Mary and John. With just them we were just 7 people, so we tried to find other random people. Then my friend Steve had found a guy named Mike. He told us his computer ran 300 FPS and that made him good at Minecraft, so that made us trust more on him. Then in the chat we asked for 2 more people and a guy said he was playing with his brother and they were searching for a team. We told them they could join us and they accepted. Then we had the team complete. After everyone made their teams, the admin guards said that we had to play the tug-of-war game. We obviously knew that because of the Squid Game series, but as in Minecraft it is not possible to play that game. The guards gave everyone a fishing rod and told everyone they had to catch opponent members from the other team and throw them to the void. The guards started choosing pairs of teams and we heard screaming the ones who died. Then they mentioned our team to play and we had to compete against other 10 people. In my team were trying to get them with the rod, but they were not letting us win that easy. If one from our team fell down the team lost, so we were still trying to get someone down. Then an opponent guy from the other team got me. I was so scared at that moment because I was on the edge of falling down. Then my friend Steve saved me with his rod and my other friends made an effort to throw the guy who tried to throw me and they threw him into the void. When that happened the blocks from the other bridge where the other team was collapsed and they died. Then after that we could take a break expecting the other teams. After our break we knew the other game was gonna be the marbles game and that we had to choose a partner who we hadn't had any relationships with them. So we chose people who we wouldn't have any feelings for them. When all the teams finished competing in that game, we were just 35 people left. Then the guards told us that we were gonna play the next game of marbles and they gave us time to choose a partner. I told to my friends not to choose their friends. Then my friend Steve told us that as we're 35 players left, one of us should skip the game to survive. Then we agreed for who and I decided I was gonna keep playing. Then we started looking for a partner. My partner didn't speak or chat too much, so he didn't care playing at all. Then my girlfriend told us she had got left without a team. We told her that she didn't have to worry about that because she was gonna be safe, and I told her I loved her and promised her that after we left this game we were gonna be happy together. Then my girlfriend told me she loved me too. After a while, when all the couples were ready, we started playing. In the game they gave us 10 stone blocks to each to play and we had to get the other stone blocks from our partner. Then I told my partner if he knew how to play marbles, but he was ignoring the chat. Then I told him that we needed to if we wanted to leave alive. They just gave us 30 minutes to play and we were wasting because my partner didn't want to play. He wasted 15 minutes of the time and he said he was playing. Then he told me to guess if the quantity he had in his inventory hand was odd or even. Then I said even, but he just had 9 blocks in his inventory hand, so I had to give him one of my blocks. Then I decided to take 4 from my inventory and put them on my hand. Then he said even and I had to give him my 4 blocks. Then he put other blocks in his hand again and I said even, but he had just put 5 on his hand, so I had to give him another block. As I just had 3 blocks left, I decided to put just 1 block. But my partner said odd and he got that block from. Then it was his turn again and I said odd, but he just had 12 blocks in his inventory and I had to give him 1. At that moment I was desperate because I just had 1 block left. But for some reason he said even because he had forgotten the count of my blocks, so he had to give me 1 of his blocks. Then his turn was again and I said odd and he had 5 with him, so I won 5 of his blocks. I was seeing he was risking way too much of his blocks, so I just needed to guess right. Then the time went by and we just had 2 minutes left, and he just had 2 blocks left and I said even, but he had just put 1 and I had to give him 1 of mine. Then I put 1 and he said odd, so he had 4 then. When his turn came again, I said odd and he gave me the 3 blocks he had put in his hand. At that moment we just had 20 seconds left, but he was not responding anymore. I told him to guess my number of marbles, but he didn't want to. I asked him what was going on with him, but he didn't give me any answer. So the time got over and the guards had already killed all the ones who had lost before and the ones who had less marbles left or had tied. As they were the admins, they knew the quantity of each one of us and saw I had 19 and my partner 1, and I heard how he was killed in real life, but he didn't seem to suffer as the other people. At that moment I was too sad and everyone met again. Then in the Discord call where I was, I heard my friends Tom, Richard and Mary had died. That made feel more sad, and then I saw my friend Steve had won another game because he had manipulated his partner and could get him. And my girlfriend was still there alive bored. I told her I survived, but she seemed sad too, because she knew just one of us was leaving. I told her we were gonna find a way out, but she was still depressed. At that moment we were just 18 players left and the brothers we had met there before decided to disconnect to die because they didn't want to play anymore, and we heard how they died. Then the guards came again and told us that we're gonna be playing the glass bridge game and sent us to place where there were some numbers. I didn't want to go first because I knew I was gonna die, but I neither wanted to go last because I knew it was gonna take me more time, and that's when all the players chose a number. A guy who looked brave chose the 1. The friend Mike we had met chose the 2, other guys chose from the 3 to the 9, my friend John chose the 10, another guy chose 11, a superstitious girl chose the 12 because she didn't want the 13, my friend Steve got the 13, my girlfriend the 14 and another player got the 15 before me, so I had to get the 16 and I had gotten last place as I didn't want to. After everyone had chosen a number and the admins had organized the game, the admin guards told us that we're playing the bridge game and just had 16 minutes. Then the first player started. We already knew what the glass and it was correct. then on another one, but that one broke and he was eliminated from the game and we heard how he screamed of death. Then the other players had come, and some of them were falling down because they had stepped on the wrong glasses. Then there were just players from the 9 to the 16 left, and the 9 also messed up. As they were taking so long, some other players came after them to try to push them to the next glasses to pass the game. At that moment we were just my friend John, my friend Steve, that superstitious girl, my girlfriend and me. My friend John was scared because he was in front of everyone. That's when my friend Steve yelled at him and threatened him that if he didn't jump he was gonna push him to the other glass block. My friend John told him to have some patience, but Steve desperately pushed him and killed him, and we heard how John had died. We also heard his parents trying to save him, and they said he was bleeding severely and they needed to send him to the hospital. Then I angrily yelled to Steve and told him why he did that. But he told me he wanted to survive and told us that we owed him so much and we never paid him. At that moment Steve was going crazy and his personality had changed. Then as he was standing in the anti-penultimate block, he told us he wasn't moving until someone moved forward him. Then we told him to just jump where he thought it was safe, but he said he wasn't sacrificing for us. At that moment we just had 2 minutes left and the superstitious girl went where he was standing. Then Steve pushed her to the glass block forward and it broke. We heard how that girl was screaming and praying to God. She was saying Steve that he was gonna go to hell, but Steve didn't care and he jumped to the correct block. Then I saw my girlfriend was still standing there. I told her just to jump in the correct blocks, but she told me there was no use of playing this game. She was scared and crying at that moment, and she even told me her dreams she had with me. So I promised her we were gonna pass the last games and leave from this fucking place, but she told me just one of us could leave. I told her I'd die for her, but she told me she couldn't live without me. Our friend Steve just called us idiots for that emotional talk. I couldn't convince my girlfriend to jump and she just told me to survive alone. I sadly had to pass that game alone. I even told her she could do it, but she refused to because she didn't want to be killed by Steve or having to kill me. Then we saw there were just 10 seconds left, and when those 10 seconds passed my girlfriend died and told me in the voice chat her last words saying she loved me. All the glasses broke and they made us wait for the next game. Then in the call I was listening to my friend Steve. Steve was really crazy. Then the guards told us to take a break and prepare for the next game because it was coming in a while. While the time was going by, my friend Steve told me that he shouldn't have joined that game with me, and that I owed him many things in life and I didn't even pay him back. So I told him to calm down, but he didn't. Then the guards came and they told us we were playing the Squid Game. Then they make us choose between being the attacker or being the defender. I chose being attacker and my friend Steve defender. Then the game started and I had to attack him. Though we started a PvP fight and we were hitting each other, I screamed and told my friend he had been such a jerk traitor, but he continued using his PvP techniques, making me so much damage. That's when I decided to run and attack him in the back several times, defending myself. I hit him one last time and he hit. I just had 2 hearts left and he told me just had 1.5 hearts left. Then he said he was getting tired and that he wanted to live from there, so I heard he had hurt himself really hard with a stick in his face in real life and he was bleeding. He said had done this to commit suicide, and then I heard he electrocuted himself with his computer equipment and he had died. Then his player was still standing there, so I needed to kill his player to win. When I hit him I felt so sad and I was regretting having played that game. Then guards brought me to the start and told me congratulations and gave me the 456,000 mine coins they had promised me, giving me a code in Minecraft. Then I wrote the code in my computer and they told me I could leave the game and I left. Then when I left I was crying and feeling sorry for my friends. Then I went to kitchen where my mom was cooking dinner and asked me what had happened to me, but I didn't answer. Then she told me just to go to sleep and I went to bed thinking about what had happened. I messaged my friends, but they didn't answer. Then the next day my mom had the TV on and the news said 455 people had died for playing Minecraft in a Squid Game map. Then she received a voice call from my friend's parents and they said they were dead. When I came back the next day to school everyone was talking about my friends, Steve, John, Tom, Mary, Richard and my girlfriend Sophia, who had died and were found dead in their rooms in front of their computers playing Minecraft. I was so fucking sad and didn't want to talk. I still live with this regret and I don't want to tell anyone because I know they are not gonna believe or they are gonna kill me for letting those 455 people die. Right now I haven't used the code of my Minecoins yet and I'm planning to sell it to get the money and pay everyone's families what they suffered. I still don't know who was that Mr. Beast scammer and how and why in the world he did that. Right now I'm just gonna write my story here and try to make my friends' dreams come true. My friend Steve said once it is never too late to change. Is it?
So guys, those were all the 4 horror stories I wanted to tell you. I know the Squid Game one was a bit longer, but I technically made a summary about it, but in a Minecraft version. Obviously I'm not gonna copy the whole story, and many people do summaries about that, but that's not the point right now. What I wanna tell you is that I wanna say special thanks to Nice. That's how that my friend is called. That's a friend I have in Twitter, so I want you to go and follow him on Twitter. I don't know if he has a YouTube channel, but if he has, I'm also gonna put it in the description. But well, follow Nice on Twitter. He'll be in the description. He narrated the horror story 3, and a special thanks to Dixon for trying to help me with the story number 4, because that one was the hardest one. But Nice, thank you so much for participating in this video with me, and I know this video was a bit long, so I'm gonna put the credits and say goodbye and happy Halloween. Yeah, happy Halloween.